Morning everyone. Sorry I didn't do too much yesterday. I was sleeping for most of yesterday because the night before was a very painful night, as most of you can relate to, pretty much all of you. So I promised an insight into how this all began and where I am in today. So that's what I'm going to do for you now. Back in the day, 4 years ago, I was very happy, engaged, everything was going great. Great family life, nothing wrong, great job. I couldn't have wanted more. And then I started getting a sore neck, and I started to notice it more and more that I'd be turning left. So I went to the doctors on countless occasions. And the doctor would say to me, "Oh, take this painkiller, take that painkiller, try some stretching movements, refer me to a physiotherapist." That didn't work. Went to acupuncture, I had the sports massage once a week, although it relieved me for a good few hours. The pain always used to come back, and then gradually it was kind of getting worse, and I noticed it. My partner at the time, she noticed it. Anyway, so I started Googling, and I wouldn't say I'm the brightest person, but I'm pretty smart when it comes to trying to find out what's going on the internet. So I found dystonia, and I was bloody convinced that that's what I had. So I went back to the doctor and I said, "I want to see a neurologist, refer me." Now that took a good 6 months for that referral to happen. So I went to a neurologist based in Hemel Hempstead, and he came out and took me in, a very lovely chap, looked like a professor type, and he said to me, "Oh God, you have a torticollis." At the time I didn't even know what a torticollis was. So he then said, "I have a very good friend at a hospital." Now in this video I'm not going to share names or slag any doctors off, or personally, because that's my issue and not yours. So I went to a hospital near me at the time where I was living, and I saw a neurologist, and I got no scan done, nothing. I had an x-ray, but that was it. And then basically he said to me, "Oh, we could do Botox shots, we'll take it from there because your head's turning to this direction and the retrocollis and all sorts of things." So I thought, yep, hope at last. I've got an answer. So that's what happened. So every 3 months I'd go there, and to be honest, most of the people in this clinic had Parkinson's. I never saw anybody else with dystonia. Never spoke to anybody that had dystonia. Never even had a conversation with somebody who had dystonia. So I believed this doctor, and I was having Botox. I then, after every session, used to go back and research and see, I think it's in the mind that the Botox works, and for me, it didn't work. I thought on one occasion, wow, this has worked, but 2 weeks later, I was pretty much back to normal. Sorry, I've just got somebody wandering outside my house. It's okay. Sorry about that. So that's what happened, and after basically a few months of having these sessions, I asked him, because I'd gone onto the Dystonia Society website. By the way, is a brilliant website because it introduced me to the whole dystonia world, and it helped me a lot. And I saw this thing called rejuvenation, I think it's called, and which was the old version of deep brain stimulation. And sorry, my voice is terrible this morning, so I do apologise. And I took a copy of that to my neurologist in the next session, and he said to me, "Oh, no, I wouldn't touch that. You get 60% chance of death and 40% chance of stroke." So I was scared the living daylights out of me. So I walked away, but he said, "Don't worry, we can make you better. As you do, just believe the doctors and you carry on." Anyway, my neck was getting worse and worse and worse, and I found deep brain stimulation online, and I went to him again with paperwork saying, "Look, this is a current thing. People having it done. People had this done 15 years ago in different countries. why can't I have it? And he said, oh no, you're not at that stage, you're not at that stage, and I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole. And he also said to me, after 2 years of having Botox, nothing else will work for you. You have to live on painkillers and different medications, because currently I'm on cocodamol, the strongest you can get 4 times a day, which I tend not to take too much in a day because I work, but I take it before bed. I also take 50 milligrams of amitriptyline, and I also take 3 tablets of clonazepam to try and relax me, because otherwise my head just goes like this into the pillow and I fight to have a sleep. So I mentioned DBS to him and he would not touch it. So I asked if there's anyone else I could talk to. There was no one else I could talk to, it was only him. So I thought, okay, apparently he was the top neurologist in this hospital. What else am I going to do? So I went back home and I spent a long time, I mean, I'm talking weeks, of Googling, finding phone numbers, email addresses, websites, and I contacted so many people about DBS and saying, look, I need help. At the time, I was 39 years old, and I wanted this fixed. I'm only young. There's people on have dystonia younger than me, even older. They still have a lot of fight left in them and still a lot of life. So I would not let this thing bloody beat me, even though it does on most days. But you try to get on with it. So I saw this guy online called Tom Seaman, and he wrote a book on dystonia, and I read it. And he's the one who actually helped me to control it, let me find my version of it now. He helped me to control it, get through, and learn how to deal with it. And quite honestly, if it wasn't for this guy, who I've actually spoken to directly on Messenger, he's so approachable if you can get hold of him. So his book is Diagnosis Dystonia. It's a really good book. I got the electronic version because, as we all know, holding a book isn't the easiest thing to do with somebody with dystonia. Did you ever find people that wear glasses? Do you know how difficult it is to have an eye test? I had to have my lenses changed 3 times before they got it right, because my head's going like this. Even in that machine, they're trying to say, keep your head still, keep your head still. Not that easy. So I then started getting replies saying, we can't help you, we don't know what you're talking about, until I got one email back. And this woman has, I hope, changed my life. So I'm going to leave you with that for this morning, but I will come back to you with the nitty-gritty details in between, and also my journey so far, and the things that I do to help cope on a day-to-day basis. So I look forward to it, and I'm just going to go outside for a bit of air because it's boiling in here today. So anyway, I'll speak to you later. Thank you very much. Bye.